What's something you have in your house that is secretly sexy and others don't know about? In our living room we have a gigantic painting that just looks like random abstract art, but it came from one night we covered ourselves in paint and ducked on the canvas. We have a squat rack that we use as a restraint frame for our kinky adventures. We jokingly call it our dungeon. Amazing. Jesus, that's nice, but I would be so afraid to get paint in my pussy. Just use dedicated body paint. The proper stuff is hypoallergenic and safe for genital use. I've made Rorschach tests by painting pussies and then having the women sit on a piece of paper. I don't know if it'll be stable for centuries, but I've got a couple that have lasted a decade or so. You should post those pressings. If the people wouldn't mind, I would be very interested in seeing the outcomes. I keep my artist account and my porn/kink account very separate. But if you look around they are online. Makes sense. Maybe sometime in the future you could consider making an art piece just for your kink account. Unless of course the style would give away your identity. A queening chair. What's that? It's a chair that allows a woman to sit over your face while you lie on your back. You can then perform oral on her from below. Photo link imga.com/eat027z JPG. Not the one I have. But they're all pretty identical. How do you disguise it? We don't. Lol, it sits in the corner of the bedroom. The ladies who clean our house haven't asked about it. And as far as I know, they're the only ones who've seen it. I have a small gun safe next to my bed. I do not own a gun. It's stuffed with sex toys. My husband grew up in Florida, so he's very gun friendly. We have a safe with like 20 rifles and handguns in it. We now live in LA, and I'd rather my friends find my strap-on than that safe. Lol. Haha. Guns are a fantastic investment. They almost never lose their value, and in most cases, increase every time new legislation passes. Living in a gun-free area means you get triple the asking price. Just make sure to never sell to a felon. My husband never bought a gun in his life. They all belonged to his father, but he takes them out shooting a lot, and we've had fun with that. Not to suggest selling them, but if they are inherited their value is probably higher than you might think. We have a painting over the bed, given to us by a duck buddy we banged for ages. Another one in the living room from another duck buddy. The second one is a fairly well-known artist, so we just tell people we were friends with him when he ran a local artists guild. How did you bang so many artists? One was a pro. The other was more of a Renaissance man doing as a hobby. Very nice work though. And how were they at painting? The pro was / is excellent. He's done a number of shows, and we were sincerely shocked he gave us a piece of his, since they sell for a lot. It's a modern / abstract piece. The other one was actually pretty awesome. He painted a beautiful nature scene in watercolors. So good memories of both and something unique as a keepsake from each. OMG, that is sexy as hell. I know what to get as the perfect Christmas gift now. I really hope it's not Santa that gives you that gift. Santa, baby, won't you hurry down the chimney tonight? Perfect. Duffel bag filled with dildos, sexy panties, and a giant black butt plug. That butt plug does things to me that masturbation can't. No one in my life would even remotely suspect I have any of that stuff. I feel like I'm the friend where people would think I have a bag like that. I swear if it was socially acceptable for non-gay guys to play with toys usually meant for gals, the male population would be a lot more sexually satisfied. No one is stopping anyone. My husband uses a lot of the same toys I use. We have a Harry Potter calendar on our fridge. We've been using it for a year to track all details of our sex life with a series of innocent markings that I'll get summed into an Excel doc later. What's the purpose of tracking? So far, no one has asked why there are 2 smoke detectors in our bedroom. This is convenient for us, since one of them hides a sex swing anchor that is bolted to the rafters in the attic. OMG, great idea. Cocoa butter. My wife always buys it, and so it's always in our bathroom. Why it's secretly sexy is that when we were in college, she used some to give me a hand job in her dorm room. It's been a while, years, since she has used it on me. but it's always there as a reminder. Dude, get her to use it again. A properly executed hand job is one of the most intimate things she can do. We have those under the bed restraints. We have a steel frame instead of a box spring, so the cuffs sort of dangle at the corners of the bed. Not overt, but also not well hidden. We both hope someday one of our female friends sees them, and it starts a conversation. Close bracket. I stayed at my friend's house a few years ago and dropped my phone behind the bed. When I bent down to get it, I realized they had those under the mattress restraints. I started poking around and found a ton of sex toys stashed in the room, and I realized that their guest room was their duck room. So, did it start a conversation? Then or later? Way later I brought it up. Like a year later, when we were getting wasted at a bar. Wasted and talking about sex toys and duck rooms sounds like a good time. Beats talking sports, politics or kids. Thanks him stealing your idea and becoming rich. Rich in probably awful lot BC I suck. Most of the wooden spoons and the big rubber spatula have been used to spank a GF that used to get bent over the kitchen table, perfect height, and were within reach. She loves watching me play drums and has a thing for my back and shoulders. I'm a pretty fit guy, so I get it, so she prefers me shirtless. But it's cold in that damn room lately. So would I. That's good. It means your nips will be hard, and then you can do something to warm you up. This comment comes off as low-key creepy. It is actually, but it seems like, because they are a woman, some don't care. There's a set of handcuffs hanging from the headboard of the bed. Like, always. They never get put away. It's a joke to my Facebook feed, because I once posted a picture of my son sleeping on the bed, and everyone was quick to point out the handcuffs. So any picture involving the bed now also becomes a game of who can point out the handcuffs first. It also created quite the moment when he had a few coworkers help us move. I'd never seen 4 men all blush and giggle at the same time before. Your son never asked about the handcuffs? Mayo. They're 4 and 6 currently and have never considered that it's out of the ordinary. Ask me again in a decade. The body in my crawl space is probably a wrong answer. Depends on how sexy the body is. Ghost of Freddie Mercury. Anyone? Big Mouth reference? We have the same sex canvas right next to our bed with one of those swanky art lights on it. You can order them at Amazon. Just search up Love is Art. And I can't say enough how fun that was to do. We took selfies of ourselves after that are as sexy as the canvas turned out. The other plain sight is that we have a stainless steel canopy bed that I attached small eyes to the top and hidden at the head and foot of the bed, where I can rig my gal up in any number of positions. Handcuffs are hanging from the center one at the head of the bed, so I can restrain her in a snap. I was picturing the small googly eyes. My storage room that has a padlock on it. It's not storage. It's a playroom. Padlocked because I don't want kids playing in the storage room. I hope your key is in a safe place though. If I was a kid with a locked storage room, I'd be looking for that key. Sure is. My kids have no idea where the key is and won't be able to reach it even if they did. I keep some ripped underwear in my closet that I use for kinky stuff. I just put them there so they look normal. When we moved a few years ago, my husband's work paid for the whole move. Full white glove service. I was moving some stuff around and went into the bedroom and saw 2 dudes just casually throwing all of our sex toys into a box, and they were wrapping up dildos and vibrators like they were nice coffee cups that could break. I just turned around and walked out of the house. I mean, they're probably used to it. I wouldn't be surprised if they started placing bets with each other of how many toys they will pack that day/week. Super true. My first year of college I worked at a hotel cleaning rooms to make money, and holy shit the stuff I saw. You'd think it's just a cliche, but then again I have no trouble believing that the real world is probably even weirder than the cliche. I have a handful, a paddle, bondage rope, feathers, a strap-on harness. There's probably more. Out of all the toys we have, the strap-on has gotten the most miles for sure. I'm trying to find a way to tell my wife that I want her to peg me with a strap-on. They look like a lot of fun. I've only met one girl who wasn't like, duck yeah, let's do this. I built a custom height bed so that it is the perfect height to enter my wife while standing on the floor. Best position in the world for us. You would never know looking at it because it is just a little bit taller than a normal bed, but it is so good. That right there is a genuine act of love. Romance me this way all the time. Love when men make stuff and then especially make something to duck me better with. Truly. I have a drawer full of pervertibles, candles, shower curtains to use as tarps on the floor, wooden dowels, a couple Wartenberg pinwheels. That is pretty much our whole spare room. OMG, same, only that when PPL say how beautiful it is I tell them I did that with my pussy. My sister has been the only person who spotted it and knew. She looked at me and pointed at it and said, "That's an ass, apostrophe. I love your sister already." Wow. We have a bed in our room. We actually have sex on it, but don't tell anyone. Shocking. Bed restraints. Imagine a capital I, or just look at that one. Everything is under the mattress, but I can bring them out to restrain. Bought it to surprise the GF, but we broke up before we used them. Next GF mentioned maybe, possibly, wanting to be tied up with someone she trusted. Do you trust me? Yeah. What would your safe word be? Some would is your safe word? Yeah. Stand up from bed. Strap her down. Holy shit. Sexy times. You've been holding out. I thought you might like it, but gotta ease into it. I miss using it. I also have some random cheap vibrators that were gifts and a glass dildo that may or may not be in my freezer. I keep one of my glass, but plugs in my freezer. The sensation is amazing. I have a big black flask that I've never brought out or anything. Surprise surprise, it's used as a dildo. My family thinking just saving to use it on a camping trip with the scouts. Deleted. 76 inches. Wow. It would be really fun to try this. But I don't have enough room. D. Try it outside. Now that's a good suggestion. Just don't get caught by anyone who will care. Okay, this is genius. Adding this to the list of essential activities. Seriously, this is the first thing in a long while that made me say wow for real. That's pretty amazing. And sexy. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.